Hi, I'm Derek, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how to hire amazing construction project managers. Project managers are going to be an essential, crucial role to be filled in any growing construction company. Hiring a good one can make your life a breeze. Hiring one that's not a good fit is going to just make you a firefighter and put up problems every single day. So first things first, I'm going to be jumping in through how to go through the actual process of hiring and finding project managers, and then stick around to the end where I'm going to be sharing with you the exact, ideal skills and characteristics that a good project manager should have. If you need help with any of this, reach out to me. First things first, like I said, you want to have a good questionnaire, right? You don't want to be sifting through, 20, 30, 40, 100 different resumes and trying to figure out who's good and who's not. So build a questionnaire. You can do it through like a Google form. Most CRMs have some sort of form builder that you can just put out some questions, basic skills, deal breakers. So certain things that might be a deal breaker, like if they don't have a vehicle or if they don't have more than 2 years of experience. So figure out what the deal breakers are that just know that person's not gonna be a good fit. And then also a bit of mindset, ask them, if you were going to, or if you had a trade that was upset with you and couldn't be on your job site for 2 weeks, but they're the next person in your schedule, how would you handle that? So if you, doesn't have to be super long where people are going to dive off of it right away, but some basic skills and understanding of just construction terminology, construction process, management process, a couple things in there. You can get a good feel for someone, is this someone I should spend some time with in an actual interview and, look at further, or is this someone who's obviously not ready or not a good fit for me? That questionnaire, you can send them that. You can put it in part of your application process, whether that's through, an online site or on your website. Super helpful. That's going to kind of sift through the chaff and make sure you're getting the good ones coming through. After that, second part of this is your interview questions. So this is going to be, your in-person interview. Obviously you want to get a feel for this person, what they're like, and answer, a couple questions. So some good questions to be asking project managers is what makes a good PM? So ask them straight up, not necessarily why are you a good fit for a company, which is often a standard question, but what makes a good PM? What does that mean to you? Nobody's perfect, but if you were gonna, choose a perfect PM, what would that be? And then, they'll go on about how they view the person that's gonna have that role, even if their skills maybe aren't fully up to that, but at least you have a good understanding of where they are at mentally and what they view the position as. Mistakes you've made. So this is a great one. And what's a previous mistake or two mistakes that you made? How did it feel? How did you handle it? Who's responsible? This will give you a good understanding of how they handle when things come up, because a lot of project management is hopefully you're being proactive, but a lot of times you're dealing with stuff, you're putting out fires, you're on the phone, you're checking out sites, you're doing quality control, you got to make tough calls, tough conversations, things like that. So get a feel for, can they handle the stress? Can they handle the position? Can they deal with problems without having to call you every 10 minutes to figure out what's going on? So very important question. Another one is your strengths, right? What are you very strong at? Are you good at organization? Are you good at communication? Are you, good at scheduling? What are your strengths, right? Everybody has their weaknesses, mistakes they made, but what can you build on and what are they really strong at that could be a good fit? And their strengths you can check with the rest of your team or yourself and see, are those things that you already have in your company that are really good, or maybe this person's bringing something new to the table and filling kind of a hole in your company that's going to be a really good, solid piece of personnel within your organization. All right. So, and then another good one too is depending on your company and how you run, but ask them about previous software, previous even just management techniques that they've used, that they've learned somewhere else. You don't want to be hiring someone who doesn't have a background and is able to pick up on the systems or processes or technology that you may be using in your company. This can be a barrier to entry for a lot of guys who just aren't used to doing those things. They're maybe used to paper and pen and, binders and spreadsheets. They don't really know how to run a, proper project management software. So those are some questions to be asking. There's a whole bunch more to really get a feel with, the different levels of where they're at in these different areas. There's about 10 or 11 that we have. So if you want help with actually building out a questionnaire form for your interviews and a grading system so that you're not just kind of figuring out how do they, whether they were just really good at selling themselves or actually if they are competent in all the different levels that you need, reach out to me. Be glad to help you with that. So getting on to the third part of the exercise here, these are the skills that a project manager should have and who will be an ideal employee inside your business as a project manager. So I always want to be thinking about my ideal employee for any position. And the best way to do that is if you've hired someone in the past who was like really good or really exceptional, try to figure out why were they exceptional? What did they do well? What kind of characteristics did they have? If I could find 3 more people like that, what would those 3 people be like? This is going to give you a really good, clear indication of the next kind of people that you want to be hiring for that position. If you're bringing new people into the position and they remind you or have similar characteristics and skills and background that your other, top project managers had, they're probably going to be a fairly good fit and they're going to work out well. So that's something to be thinking about as you're bringing new people into your organization. So there's 2 real big kind of characteristics and skills that a good project manager needs. The first one is interpersonal, right? You got your people. People skills are very important because they're going to be dealing with clients, which is like 100% critical to your business of like making sure clients are happy, right? Tradespeople, you don't want to be pissing off trades, and you got to deal with trades that maybe, are busy, and you have to be able to manage that and negotiate and get them to essentially show up when you need them and make sure that they have a good experience as well. So it's another one. Employees, project managers can be dealing with other employees of yours, whether that's, carpenters, designers, your admin people, HR, whoever throughout your organization. So you want to make sure that they're able to be part of the team and they're willing to work with the team. Communication is so important, right? So if you don't have good interpersonal skills and communication, the project management is going to suffer, your business is going to suffer because of that. And coordination. Do they know how to coordinate people? Do they understand timelines and how things come together? Are they able to be direct and make sure that they're just not just asking people to do things, but actually like making sure that they're understanding why it's important and the reason behind it and how things need to be operating, why you do it this way, why you need them to be there Thursday at 8 a.m. because later that day there's another critical inspection or whatever, right? So someone who has that ability to really let people know what needs to happen, but also why it needs to happen. So that's the first one, interpersonal skills. The second part of like a really great project manager is organization, right? Organizational skills of just being neat, being clean, tidy, keeping things together. If your project manager is messy, your site's going to be messy, their paperwork's going to be messy, problems that are going to come up are going to be messy. So make sure that they have good organization skills. And these are things that can be are inherent to certain people and are going to be natural, but they're also things that you can help with training new project managers to maybe help shore up some of the deficiencies that they might have in these areas, or explain to them when you're hiring them or when you're onboarding, like these are very important things and this is what's expected of you. So that's getting into like the next step. This is about hiring great construction project managers. So if you follow those steps, take some of that information into account, you're going to have amazing project managers that are going to be helping you get off, the tools, get off the day-to-day, managing your project, keeping clients happy, all that wonderful stuff. Make sure you check out the description below. We've got links in there to free course on how to build a business that works without you. So how to run a smooth running business, build out your processes, your foundation of systems, all that good stuff. Great resource. Make sure you get it for yourself. There's also links in there to connect with me personally if you need any specific help with your business or want, the templates and documents that we provide. So here's the best for hiring more and more project managers, and all the best.